Hi Sheddies, I'm out here in the bosque again, the forest by the river. I'm a bit pissed off because I just went for my run. I've been, as many of you know, I've been running on this particular forest trail in New Mexico for nigh on 15, 16 years, maybe longer. Not non-stop, obviously. And I'm pissed off right now because the weather is lovely, okay? It's January, I think. It's still winter. But once again, it's a beautiful day here. And what has been a stretch of forest that has been completely abandoned for months is now crawling with cunts. I know it's silly, but this is like my territorial side. I didn't realize how territorial I was until today. Not in ways that some people are. I'm not territorial in the sense that, you know, I'm not sitting on my front porch with a shotgun ready to kill the first black person that I see approaching. No, I would welcome him. The way that my territorialism, if that is a word and it's not, manifests is if I enjoy something and suddenly someone else starts to enjoy it, I become furious. It's not just the bosque where I run. It's not just nature, which is obviously doesn't belong to me. Ideally, I would own this and fence it off in the whitest move ever and say, this is my property, do not come on here. I can't do that. But what I do is I talk shit. I get annoyed when I see people. Not cool people. If I see another runner, I get a bit territorial, but I don't attack them. If I see like a nice old man going for a walk with his dog, that's fine. It's the people I know that don't really belong here and aren't going to be. It's just like the gyms, right? You go to a gym, and in the new year, your gym gets absolutely crowded to fuck and unusable because all these dipshits that decide this is the year I get into shape are out there for a couple of months and then you never see them again. Losers. Anyway, that's one way I'm territorial. The other way is if I like a band or a TV show or a movie and it's not popular, but then it becomes popular, or a podcast, I get angry when other people start to like it. I say, no, that's mine. And you'll do that with Rugby Rant to Banter. Once it becomes the biggest, not just rugby podcast, but what is it, you know, it's not a rugby podcast, is it? It's a lifestyle podcast. Or did I steal that from someone? I might have stolen that from someone. It's something. Once it becomes massive, you'll say, no, fuck you. I don't want Eddie to be successful. Not because you hate me, you love me. But you'll be thinking, this is my thing. Mine and, you know, half a dozen other people were into this. You don't get to enjoy it, and that's fair, but don't hold me back. The disadvantage of wearing my sunglasses on camera is I think it really accentuates how bent my nose is. A lot of people that listen to the podcast might not have seen my face in all its glory. But my nose, and even if you have seen my face, I'm quite good at disguising it. But my nose is incredibly bent. If you look from this side, it looks quite good. From this side. Horrible. Although, let me know if any of my podlings, any of the brethren out there, if you have a giant nose that has been bent at a sort of, someone rode by, a Picasso-like angle. And tell me how that's worked out for you, because I have found, despite the fact that I used to be quite self-conscious of it, girls kind of dig it. Not wearing them anymore. I just had a great idea. If you're a podling with a bent schnoz, like me, you're a schnozzling. Hashtag schnozzlings. You know, I was watching an Egg Chasers YouTube video by the GOAT, Tim Cocker, and he apologized on his video for not releasing a video in a while, and I think it had been about 3 days. As Bush League, I go months without posting. You never know when you're going to get another Rugby Rant to Banter video, and it doesn't hurt anything. My fucking audience just keeps growing and growing and growing. I'm like that guy who just every now and again hits up a chick and she really likes him and he says he likes her and he promises he'll text her, but then he doesn't. But the more distant he is, the more wet she gets. That's you, innit? And I mean that as a compliment to you and her and me. I actually don't have anywhere near enough subscribers and I would appreciate more. Please tell your friends. I just got interrupted by a couple. I was trying to record and a couple came down the trail and I got territorial again and angry and possessive. And I was like, this is my land, get off. And they happened to be Native Americans and I felt nothing. Get the fucking cunts. So I've been walking for about half an hour trying to find a place to prop up my phone. I don't have a phone stand, and even if I did, there are just no even surfaces in nature to prop up a phone. It's insane. There's trees everywhere. Sorry, I'm squatting down. There's trees everywhere. You would think that I'd find a suitable branch that I could prop my phone up on, but nothing has worked. Right now, the phone is on the edge of a tree stump with a log placed against it, and it's still a shitty spot because I'm having to squat down. Look, this is stupid. But we got to get to the Rugby before I'm discovered. I look like Princess Leia when she's recording that thing on R2-D2. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope, you know? Someone's gonna get a good view of my ass if they come up in a second. I do have builder's bum right now. But why am I doing this video? I can't remember. Supposed to be doing, I think I was building a Six Nations squad. Now the disadvantage is that I'm so late that Borthwick has already announced his squad and I'd gotten down to back three. I was going to name the back three players I thought he should pick. Now I can't do that because he's already picked them, but I can still say who I think he should, well, not so much who I think he should have picked. I'm very comfortable with the players he's picked, but maybe some notable absences, some players I would like to have seen in there, or I'd have been excited to see in this squad, and then who I think should be starting. So the back three players available now are, I'm probably going to forget somebody, but we have Feo Waboso, who I'm very happy to see there, even if it's just to screw the Welsh over. Not in a mean way, just in a business thing. Sorry, Wales, it's just business. Roebuck, who I love from Sale. Tommy Freeman from Saints, who of course may be used as a centre, we don't know. Who am I forgetting? Christ. Furbank, of course, who I mentioned in the fly half video that I made. Perfect cover for fly half. Great to have on the bench as a fullback. Freddie Stewart, speaking of fullbacks. And I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but hopefully it'll pop back in my head. Now remember, Will Muir, who of course came in for the injured somebody. Who knows? We've had a bunch of injuries. Right off the bat, very quickly, my starting back three against Italy. Now, bear in mind, this is our weakest opposition. England have, you know, depending on how you like your rugby and what you, depending on what you think brings out the best in your team, we have possibly the perfect draw in terms of weakest to strongest opponents. You know, arguably Italy, then Wales, then Scotland, then Ireland, then France. I quite like that. The danger is when you play Italy, the danger is getting too experimental and thinking, first of all, that you can win without putting out a good team. Also, the danger is putting out, you know, a strong team, but with some less experienced players, having them do really well, and then making you, you know, lulling you into this false sense of security. So then you start them against a stronger team, and they're shown up. This could happen with Feo Waboso if he starts against Italy and dominates, which he very well could do. The temptation is to then pick him against Wales, which could come back to bite us in the ass. For that reason, well, you know what? I'd still start Feo Waboso on one wing, because I don't think Borthwick's stupid enough to do what I just described. But people will be calling for Feo Waboso if he has a good game against Italy. So I would have Feo Waboso on one wing. I would have Freddie Stewart at fullback. And on the other wing, I feel like I'm forgetting, well, I'd probably go with Roebuck. Who am I? I feel like I'm forgetting someone amazing. I'm going to have to stop this and check. Well, I think the only player I forgot to mention was Elliot Daly, who, pretty strong argument that he deserves to be somewhere in this team. I'm very torn between him and Roebuck on one wing, but then again, I'd be quite happy if Borthwick picked Will Muir there. I think, honestly, if I was picking the team, as much as I want Roebuck in there, and as fun as it would be to see Will Muir there, I think if you're starting Feo Waboso on one wing, you don't want to have another new cap. Although it might work great. Don't get me wrong, if Borthwick did it, I'd be excited. Any combination of back three I think I'd be happy about. But if I were Borthwick, and I can't believe I'm saying this because this is not my style as a selector, I would probably have Daly on one of the wings. So I'd go Feo Waboso one wing, Daly on the other, Stewart at fullback, and then of course my fave, George Furbank, on the bench, because he can play pretty much everywhere. And of course Freddie Stewart can fill in on the wing if he has to. Now, really quickly, a few players I was surprised to, well, one player I was surprised to not see there is Thokana Singer, who, it's kind of mind-blowing to me that Steve Borthwick, of all people, wouldn't pick him. He's playing so well right now, and he's already proven himself on the international stage. Like, a lot of people, don't get me wrong, for a while there, Thokana Singer was really underperforming. I don't think that's deniable. For a man of his physical talents, he seemed a bit too hesitant when carrying the ball, and it was frustrating for a lot of us. But even when he was playing that way, he was still better than most wingers. Now he seems to have figured that out, and he's having an incredible season, and he is such an amazing physical talent. And also, kick chase is phenomenal. Phenomenal. He just seems like the perfect Steve Borthwick style winger, and I can't believe he's not in the squad. Another winger that I would have liked to have seen, probably, although, sorry about this, my shoulder's on fire. Another player I'd have loved to have seen, but I can understand why he's not there, mainly because he's had a few injuries, is Lewis Liner, who I think is going to be an England winger one day. I hope he is, otherwise he might be someone else's winger. Wouldn't have minded seeing him in there. That's about it. I think, as I've said on my podcast, Steve Borthwick has, for the most part, picked a squad on form. There's very little to get upset about. It's very different to the Eddie Jones era, which I'm both happy and sad about. I mean, I'm glad that someone's picking the right players, but it does make it less fun for me to talk about, you know? Anyway, that's it for the rugby in this video. There's a lot of bullshit, wasn't there? I'm going to be doing a few other videos, who knows when. I'd love to say I'll be back next week, or less than that. I'm going to try really hard to do more, because I've been having some epic fights with the rugby brethren about certain players, and I think I might start doing some kind of annoying videos like the top 5 England players of all time in each position, that kind of boring shit. But I'm going to do it, and it's going to annoy people. That'll be fun. Anyway, like and subscribe. I got to go. Hope this wind isn't annoying. I'm going to fade away. Wait! I forgot about Tommy Freeman, didn't I, for fuck's sake? Would like his... Oh, shit. Wouldn't mind seeing him starting the centres now that I know who's available and who's not. That's a story for another day. But yeah, Tommy Freeman's an option too. Now I'll fade away again.